Okay, Hapro Horsham. Here's the finish of that little Mark Knopfler-esque type solo one that he gives. So just to recap from last week, I gave you, it starts off just like this, but down here, 5 frets away, right? Based on this D minor as opposed to that D minor. So we start off slowly, and then come up to an A 7th arpeggiation, and then just reach over. I have with my pinky, and then I just reach over with my note bending finger there, the ring finger, and bend this G note up to that A and release it. Come to this F. So you're actually hearing from A, G, F, and finish up on the D. And then we come down to this portion, which is C, B flat, A, B flat, A, and just run this up string 1, and then I arpeggiate that A up and down. You have very great latitude here as to how you want to sort of mark time in there. Mark, not referring to Knopfler in this case, although actually it is. So you'd be, and then you want to come up to this F note, because we're now on the F portion, which is down here. That's not my guitar, that's our little blonde kid in there. So we come to and that's once I'm just arpeggiating up that C, and once again you can fool around with all kinds of combinations there. But then now we'll pick up from there. So we come over here. We know that we're gonna have to go from this C to this B flat. On the B flat we're gonna play is here. We were playing the B flat down here at the on the solo 1, and that's a B flat based on a C shape here, as you can see down here. That would be a C shape. But I'd be holding the B flat where you'd be holding the C in this C chord. If you move the shape down, you're right down here to a B flat. Here's a B, E, A, D, G, B, E. So I have a B, B flat, and then I know that I can just make a C chord. That's what you're doing here. No, that's what you're doing at that portion of the song. But we're making it more, less bendy rock, and I said I'd just try to make this more melodic, which he does quite frequently when he plays this. So picking up here at the C, we're going, and I'm going to come down like, so at the C, I'm going to start from the F here. Excuse me. I gave. And I just took this from, which is part of the B chord, or the C that we're making here. We're actually making a C with this pentatonic shape. So this note right here, this A note, is part of the pentatonic scale for C major. And I just came up, and then you slide it 1 down, and you are into this chord, a B, which is B flat, which is A, and then B flat. And now you have this shape right here, and that's what we're going to hit, just the shape. The shape is part of that B flat major chord. So you're coming, and I'm just going to kind of leave that blank for you. You can just but at this beat, you want to go and just arpeggiate that. That's the B flat. Now put your ring finger at this D note right here that you know and love, because we're now going to go to this D minor chord. That's the portion up here. You know, we're after. Well, now we're going to play that D minor chord differently up here, because we're just ad-libbing on it, right? So you have this the shape right here of the B flat. That B flat shape, notice, is very similar to the D minor shape, and in fact, this, when you make the D minor shape, this D bass is here at string 5, fret 5, and if you go down to string 5, fret 8, you have an F. So let me just start from here and show and give you a representative example. Now I'm finished with that B flat chord right there, and that B flat is, I'm just taking the inner 3 strings here, string 2, 3, and 4 of this B flat shape, and now I'm going to come to this D, and I'm going to hit this D and go. I hit this, pull it off, excuse me, pulling that D right here at string 3, fret 7. I'm pulling that off to string 3, fret 5, and then coming down and bending it. So it's that sound. And that gets me through that D minor chord. And then I'm going to slide this down where I end this D minor chord, which is string 4, fret 7. And I'm going to slide that down to this B minor shape, the B flat chord, again, this shape, the middle 3 strings. And I slide that whole shape down 2 frets because I'm now going from a B minor to a C. And I just arpeggiate through those. And arpeggiate means I'm just hitting essentially strings 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2. You can vary that as you like, and that's kind of why I'm doing this, so that you can experiment around with other sounds that you might introduce here. I'm giving you a framework. So he's going. And ends with that. Or I'm ending it with that. And what's that? That is string 4, fret 7, which is the A, to the C at string 3, fret 5, and then back to string 4, fret 7, and then down to catch this F note at string 2, fret 6, and ending on the D. At that point it goes. It's at that portion. So let me go through the whole thing, and excuse me. We'll start off with what we did last week. Just like up here, we just moved that down here to string 3, fret 7. So we're down. Now to the A 7th arpeggiation. and then I'm just coming up here and catching that F note when the F chord comes in, and I'm arpeggiating the F. And now I just went from the C chord down to the B flat and arpeggiated that. Actually, I think it's best just to go. And then finish off with, which you can finish off down here, which is for on this D minor, which is string 5 fret 12, and string 5 fret 12, string 4 fret 10, and then back to string 5 fret 12, and then down to string 3, fret the F note down here at string 3, fret 10, and then finish off on the D at string 4 fret 12. So just the whole thing would sound something like this. Excuse me. So that's just a variation on his solo one, using just like a more harmonic approach. And I hope it gives you some ideas on fooling around with that. I purposely wanted to make it with a lot of these arpeggiations and slides, because you can vary how you arpeggiate that, you know. You know, something like that, make it more melodic instead of just going. And I'm just going string 5, 4, 3 there, but you can fool around with that. You can reach down and get other notes. See, I just went down here and got this sixth in a C chord. That's the sixth. When I got to the C, I just went. And then it finishes off with that. So keep in mind the chords that you have that we're playing, and visualize those chords, and then say, well, okay, I'm in this chord structure here. What can I do that sounds nice with that? Because you're doing something more melodic here. You're not playing the melody of the song. Notice you're playing a different melody. You're kind of inventing a melody as you go along, a melody that goes along with the melody of the chords that you're playing. That's it. So if you have any questions, hit me with an email, and good luck. Okay, see you next one.